When the Leyland Octopus appeared in 1936, it represented a change in the way Britain imagined heavy road transport. At a time when most trucks struggled with the limits of 6 wheels, Leyland Motors introduced something entirely new for civilian use: an 8-wheeled giant that promised stability, higher payload, and endurance for long-distance haulage. It arrived in a world still recovering from economic strain and moving toward modernization, and it quickly became a symbol of reliability and strength, a machine designed to carry the weight of a rebuilding nation. The Octopus took its name from its 8 wheels arranged on 4 axles, a configuration that was unusual and innovative for the 1930s. 2 steering axles at the front gave it precise control, while the twin rear axles supported heavy loads with impressive stability. The design allowed the chassis to distribute weight more evenly, reducing pressure on each wheel and making the truck far more capable on uneven roads, cobblestones, quarries, and unpaved industrial routes. In a time before modern road networks, this mattered. The Octopus could go where ordinary trucks simply could not, and it could carry more while doing it. The heart of the early Octopus models was a Leyland 6-cylinder diesel engine, part of the company's famous family of economical, long-lived power plants. In 1936, the available engine was the Leyland 6-liter diesel, producing around 97 horsepower. More importantly, it offered strong low-end torque, reaching approximately 380 newton meters, approximately 280 pound-feet. This torque gave the Octopus the pulling strength it needed for slow climbing, hauling coal, timber, machinery, and building materials across routes that demanded endurance rather than speed. The engine was known for its reliability, and many operators said the Leyland diesels could run for years with minimal servicing, a valuable trait during a period when replacement parts were expensive and workshops were not always close by. The power was delivered through a sturdy 4-speed manual gearbox with a low-ratio auxiliary section, effectively giving the Octopus 8 usable gears. This allowed drivers to tailor the truck's power to steep climbs or heavy loads. Although the truck was never fast, with a top speed of roughly 48 kilometers per hour, approximately 30 miles per hour, speed was not the purpose. Its mission was to move weight, and it did so steadily, confidently, and without complaint. Drivers often described the Octopus as a machine that felt unbreakable, a truck that inspired trust simply by the way it moved. The dimensions of the 1936 Octopus reflected its heavy-duty role. The chassis length varied depending on body configuration, but many early models measured around 8.5 meters in length, approximately 27.8 feet, with a width of about 2.4 meters, approximately 7.9 feet. Its payload capacity was one of its greatest strengths. Early Octopus models could carry between 10 and 12 tons, approximately 22,000 to 26,000 pounds, which was extraordinary for its era. Later versions carried even more, but the 1936 model already set new standards for what a road-going lorry could achieve. The frame was built from heavy steel sections designed to resist twisting under extreme loads. The double-drive rear bogie used robust leaf spring suspension, allowing the truck to flex across uneven surfaces while keeping its tires planted firmly. Braking was handled by vacuum-assisted mechanical brakes on all wheels, one of the most advanced systems available in the mid-1930s. For drivers, this meant better stopping performance when hauling heavy cargo down long slopes, something that earlier trucks often struggled with. One of the Octopus's most distinctive features was its tall, upright cab. The 1936 design still reflected the aesthetic of the early interwar years, with large, squared-off shapes, rounded corners, and a prominent radiator grille that stood forward like the chest of an armored knight. The driving position was high and commanding, giving operators a clear view of the road ahead. Inside, the cab was simple, functional, and durable. Metal surfaces, wooden floorboards, and straightforward instruments created an environment built for practicality rather than comfort. Long-haul drivers spent many hours behind the wheel, yet they valued the Octopus for its dependability above all else. Leyland built the Octopus for both civilian and government use. During the years leading up to the Second World War, many Octopus units worked for British road services, timber companies, construction firms, and large industrial operators. They carried steel beams for new buildings, coal from mines and machinery between factories. Their ability to move heavy loads efficiently made them essential in a time when Britain was modernizing rapidly. The Octopus became a familiar sight on British roads, its 8 wheels marking it as a machine built for serious work. The Second World War increased demand for strong transport, and although the early Octopus models were primarily civilian, their design influenced many military 8-wheeled trucks that appeared later. After the war, the Octopus continued to evolve through multiple generations, eventually becoming one of Leyland's most successful heavy chassis lines. But the 1936 version remained special because it was the first of its kind, the origin of a lineage that would last for decades. Drivers respected the Octopus for its calm, predictable behavior under weight. Fully loaded with 12 tons of cargo, the truck would pull away gently in low gear, its 6-cylinder diesel humming with a steady rhythm. On steep hills, the driver would shift through the auxiliary gearbox to keep the engine in its optimal torque range, feeling the machine's strength through the wheel and pedals. And on muddy timber roads or uneven quarry tracks, the 8-wheel layout provided a kind of stability that 6-wheel trucks simply could not match. Even when one wheel found a rut or hole, the others kept the truck moving forward. Today, restored examples of the early Octopus are extremely rare. Most of the 1930s units worked until they were worn down, rebuilt, used again, and finally retired when they could no longer serve. Those that survive receive admiration at vintage truck shows, where enthusiasts gather around them to marvel at the engineering that helped build Britain's industrial backbone. Standing beside a restored Octopus, one can appreciate the imposing scale of its 8 wheels, the strength of its frame, and the honesty of its design. It is a machine from a time when engineering was guided by durability above everything else, and when a truck's character was measured by how much it could carry, how long it could last, and how faithfully it served the people who depended on it. The Leyland Octopus of 1936 remains a testament to the ingenuity and ambition of British heavy vehicle engineering. It was a pioneer of multi-axle road haulage, a machine that expanded the limits of what commercial trucks could do, and a vehicle that helped shape the future of transport. Its story is a reminder of an era when strength and reliability were the greatest virtues a machine could offer, and the Octopus delivered both with unwavering certainty. If you enjoy learning about the machines that built our world and want to discover more rare and remarkable trucks from history, make sure to subscribe. Many more forgotten giants are waiting to be explored.